Man, oh man, oh man. It's already 7 o'clock. You believe that? 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night in August. Man, this year is just flying by. We got to get some people in here, talk to. We're going to talk about contracts tonight. It's one of my favorite subjects. I know everybody hates contracts, but I don't. I love contracts. I love it. Contracts are one of my favorite things. Let me turn my bull snot around here so everybody can see my bull snot. Hey, I've been using some bull snot on some of the cars down at the car lot. We got a car lot, we've been using some of the bull snot on that. And it's just, man, the stuff is just crazy. Hello. Oh boy. Hello. Let me see who all we got going on up in here. I got to find out, everybody. I got people clicking in from all over the world. I don't even know who they are, half of them. Let's see this. See if I can get us tuned in here. I've been on the phone all day with a bunch of people, and uh, Eddie, what up? Um, anyway, I don't know. I can only pick up one. If you don't click on that even much thing, I can't see who you are when you talk to me. You got to tell me who you are. And now I see it's clicking on and off like it likes to do. One of these days, I'm just going to tell you, one of these days, I'm going to switch over to YouTube, and that's going to be the end of it because for some reason, I don't know what it is. For some reason, hold on, let me turn this down. Um, for some reason, Facebook likes to mess with me. I don't know why. I don't get it. The Shaggy crew is here, driving, but here, Jess, that's all right. You can hold a wheel. Well, it's nice to howdy, y'all. Anyway, we're going to talk about contracts tonight. It's one of my favorite things. I love contracts. Uh, for some reason, people like to give me contracts all the time to look at, and it just I don't know why. But to me, Eddie Baumgartner, what up? To me, they're kind of like it kind of like working a crossword puzzle. They're kind of fun to look at and fun to play with and all that stuff. But what you got to do is you got to be real careful. Have you ever seen a contract written by a company and presented to you that was in your favor? I mean, have you ever? Even one? I mean, because if you have, put me a note over there because I'd like to hear about it. I'd be real interested to hear about that because I never have. All these contracts these people put out there are written in their favor. They're written to protect them and to allow them to uh, to do things in some cases that are not legal. For instance, no, it didn't happen. No, okay. Uh, so so here's the thing about contracts. If you see a contract and anywhere in that contract, I don't care where. Let's talk about structure. Let's talk about structure. A contract will have a main body. Now, if you're a trucking company, even one or two trucks, it doesn't matter. If you've got 100 trucks, 1,000 trucks, it doesn't matter. If you're a trucking company and you make an agreement with a shipper, a lot of shippers don't even want to give you a contract. They don't even want a contract. They just want to go, word of mouth, and then they'll better read the fine print. Yeah, we're going to get to that fine print, okay? Because a lot of it's right there, just right out there in the plain open daylight for you to see. So a lot of these contracts, a lot of shippers don't even want a contract. And the ones that do, the bigger shippers will want a contract. All of the brokers that I know of want a contract, a broker carrier agreement. Okay. An agreement by definition is a contract. I have one contract that was wrote as a team, full transparency on both sides. However, that was years ago. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. But it's not in bold. No, it's never in bold, is it? Anyway, the thing about contracts is here's how they're structured. We used to do a million of them when we were doing the government stuff. I still do. I still do some contracts with some people and help them with their contracts and proposals and that kind of thing. But this is a contract is a legal document. You need to know that, okay? You can't just you can't just be in a hurry. Oh God, I need that load, and then the broker's sitting there going, "If I ain't got your paperwork back in 3 minutes, I'm gonna have to cover this." Be careful with that shit, okay? Because they're wanting you to do something you probably don't want to do, okay? So let's talk about the contract. Each contract, no matter who, what, or where, will have the body of the contract, the primary agreement. And most of that, it starts out with being a lot of legalese like definition of who's who. Okay, we are blah blah blah, we're PepsiCo and we da da hereby known as shipper or customer. Okay. And then it has you and it'll have the description of your name and your company and all that. Hereinafter called carrier. Okay, and then that's you. So that just means that for the whole rest of the contract, they don't have to type all that stuff out anymore. They're the shipper and you're the carrier. And that's that. Okay, so if they don't have to define anything anymore, it just makes them easier for it, right? Just makes it easier for something else for you to easy to read and something to agree to. But the primary body of the contract typically will describe the relationship between the shipper and the carrier or the broker and the carrier. Okay. And the body of the contract is mainly about getting paid. That's mainly what it's about. You're expected to do this, you're expected to do that. And if you do, we will pay you. Okay. And most of the time in the body of the contract, it's very unusual, very unusual. If it's a broker carrier agreement, somewhere in that contract, it'll have a small paragraph usually about non solicitation. What that means is you can't call their customer. If you haul a load for them, if they give you a load, you cannot call that customer. We're going to talk about this because in social media, I see a lot of bad information about back solicitation. I've even seen people say, yeah, that's illegal. No, it ain't. Let's get something clear right off the bat. Let's make something very, very clear right off the bat. If the shipper or the broker puts something in that contract and then you sign that contract, you agree to that, from here on out, it's legal. It's legal for them to do that. Just like TQL, if they want to file a claim or they want to withhold some of your money, or as they like to put it in their contracts, offset your payment. If you've hauled 5 or 6 or 8 or 12 loads for them, they put a hold on all those payments until you agree to let them offset that $328, $1,122, whatever it is. They hold all your money. Number one, that's illegal. Unless you tell them in a contract that they can do that, it's illegal for them to do that. And that's right in your motor carrier handbook, right in there. They owe you for hauling that load, and they're supposed to pay you. And if you, even the load that you have a claim on, they owe you the full amount for that load. And then legally, they're supposed to file a claim and follow that up separately. But they owe you for that load and they're supposed to pay you for that load. But you'll find in their contracts and in a lot of broker contracts, they've changed that around and they get you to sign that, saying that if you have a claim or if you have some kind of overpayment or this, they can offset your payments. If you sign that, you just agreed to let them do that. You just agreed to let them do it. Even though it's illegal, you agreed to it. Anybody that's ever been through a divorce or had to divvy up a house or car or boat or anything, you know what I'm talking about. Once you agree to a thing, that's on you. It's all on you. So let's talk about non-solicitation. I've seen people on social media go, yeah, that ain't legal. It absolutely is legal. Okay, if they put it in their agreement and you sign that agreement, It is absolutely legal. They can absolutely take legal action against you up to and including taking your revenue if you sign that agreement and agree not to solicit their customers. A lot of times that'll read, you know, the broker and the carrier agree that the broker spent great time and effort and expense in securing these customers and securing these loads for you. And in realization of that, the carrier agrees that neither they nor any of their agents, nor any of their associates, nor anyone that they influence or affect. In other words, you can't even call me and get me to solicit that customer for a period of, usually it's a year, sometimes it's 2 years. And if you sign that and you agree to that, then you can't do it. And I have on occasion, several occasions, as a matter of fact, I have seen that enforced. What up, Jonathan? I have seen that enforced. I have seen that enforced. They can tap into you. If you solicit that customer and you start taking freight from them and you haul it or broker it, or even if you give it to somebody else, just give it to them. They will have some period of a year or 2 years that they can claim 20% of that revenue or more if they put it in the contract. And they can and they will do that. They can and they will do that. You got to understand something. These big brokerage houses, TQL, CH Robinson, XPO, all these guys, they got a whole floor full of lawyers. And that's what they do all day, every day. All day, every day. They deal with claims and keeping your money. That's what they do. That's what they do. So if you sign that agreement, if you sign that contract that you will not solicit their customers, that's it. That's it. It's really easy to prove in court, and a lot of these guys will take your ass to court. It's it's real easy to prove that in court because they have, number one, a signed agreement. They have, number two, rate confirmation sheets to verify that they gave you that contact to that customer and that you haul that load for them, for that customer, and that you agreed not to solicit that customer. It's real easy to prove in court. Super easy if you sign it. If you don't sign it, if you mark through it, a lot of brokers will say, yeah, I see you put a bunch of lines through our contract. Geez, I can't use it. Good. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. If you give somebody like TQL free reign to take your money, to keep your money, they will keep your money. If you see the word offset anywhere in a contract, ever, offset, don't sign that contract until you've marked through it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And keep the copy that you marked through because you'll need that if they ever sue you. You'll need that. Keep it. Okay? Hear me when I tell you, if you sign that agreement and you agree not to solicit their customers, then you better not do that. Because a lot of people say, that's a free country. I can haul freight for anybody I want to. No, you can't. Not if you signed an agreement saying that you wouldn't do it. Now, I will say this. As a broker, me as a broker, okay, or any other broker out there, my job is to have a good enough relationship with my customer and do a good enough job for my customer that if one of my carriers goes in there and solicits them, they'll tell me. They'll call me and tell me. Obviously, if they do that, that's the end of my relationship with that carrier. They're not ever going to haul for me again. But I've got a customer. I've had them for 20 some years, and there have been a few times, probably, I don't know, twice maybe, that a carrier would go in there. I just want to haul for you direct. That is, if you sign my contract, which has a non-solicitation clause in it, and you do that, and they give you a load, you're going to pay me for that. Been there, done that. So keep that in mind when you're signing contracts. Read everything. Take the time to read it. If they try to pressure you or push you to sign it real fast and send it back anyway. Just send it back. Don't sign it because you're liable for all this stuff. Now, As far as solicitation goes, here's another sort of, I don't know, call it what you want to, a loophole. If a customer walks up to you, and I've had this happen with my trucks. If a customer walks up to you and says, hey, you know what? That broker you're hauling for has screwed me so many times, I'm sick of it. I want you just to haul for me direct. If they solicit you, even if you sign that contract, if they solicit you, you can indeed haul for them. What you will have to do if the broker comes after you is you'll have to prove that they solicited you. So anytime somebody comes up to me, and it has happened, I've been around long enough, a lot of shit's happened to me. But anyway, it has happened. If they come up to your driver and they say, we just want you to haul for us direct, say, you know what I need you to do? I either need you to send me an email and say that, or give me a text. Just text it to this number right here and say that you want me to haul for you and put the date on there. If you do that and you get proof that they solicited you, the gloves are off. You can haul for them. If they come to you, fair game. It's all fair game. Just so you know. So that's the non-solicitation part. And those are the parts that are legal and that are not legal. Okay? As far as holding back your money, that's illegal to do that unless you agree to it, unless you tell them that they can do that. And that'll be in the contract. We reserve the right to offset funds in the event of this happens. And what they'll usually put at the very end of that paragraph is other than unforeseen circumstances or an act of God. And you read that and you go, well, that's fair. I mean, they got God in there, so it must be okay. No. If they ask you for permission to keep your money at some point, they will keep your money. They will keep it. If you're a small guy, if you're a small carrier, you got 3 or 4 trucks or 8 or 10 trucks, and somebody holds back $10,000 of your money, that's small. I've seen them hold back $30,000 for a very small carrier. You can't pay your fuel bills. You can't pay anybody. You can't pay your drivers. You can't pay anything. You can't pay your truck payments. You can't pay your insurance. You got $30,000 sitting there. They know it's illegal. They also know that you don't have enough money to go out and hire a lawyer and fight them. And if you did, it would take you 30 to 60 days to fight them. And at the end of that 30 or 60 days, you're already out of business. They know that. Hi there. Hi there. See, let me see what's what. I can't really see a lot of stuff. Eddie, you guys are on. There you go. Let me see. See, I can't even see this shit. Tim Ringer, what's up, brother? Candace, Jess Graham, Jacob, Shirley. What the fuck? Anyway, we're talking about contracts tonight. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're here about. Contracts. And we're going to go through a couple more little odds and ends things. If they ask you for permission to withhold your money, it's illegal to do that unless you grant them permission to do it. It's illegal. They're supposed to pay you for that load of freight. And if you have a claim or if you have damage or some other weird thing, like some of these guys, if you're an hour early, you get fined $100. If you're an hour late, you get fined $200. TQL, however, 150K of F2F's revenue was a huge contributor to its downfall. Yeah. They don't even blink. They don't even blink. So what I do is, most of you know my oldest son's a lawyer. What I'll do is something weird like that happens, I'll just get him to whip out a letter real quick and send and copy it and send it in an email. That usually clears everything right up in a matter of minutes. If you don't pay this bill by the close of business today, I'll see you in court. What you're doing is illegal. You do not have permission to do this, and we will sue you. And you will also pay the amount of money you owe us, interest on that money, any attorney's fees or court costs. And let me tell you, that attorney's fee can be anything he wants it to be. There's no there are no abs. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's no such thing, destination market value. Yeah, there's no such thing as a lawyer fee that's too big. It's not regulated. It's not managed. So if my son rips off a letter to TQL and says, if you don't pay me by the close of business, we are going to sue you. We're going to take you to court, and my lawyer's fee is going to be $150,000, and you will pay it because you are in breach of contract and you are committing a crime. So just so you know that, and you're thinking, and I hear this stuff all the time, and this really, really bugs me, and I want to talk about it for a minute. And I hear this a lot about fuel surcharge. A lot of these brokers just tell me, they just don't pay it. They ain't gonna pay it, and if I don't like it, I can go haul something else. Go haul something else. Call their bluff. They're lying to you. They're stealing from you. If they won't pay you a fuel surcharge, they are lying to you. However, if you agree to a flat rate and you sign that confirmation sheet and you send it back, you just forego all your rights to anything, any fuel surcharge, any accessorials you might incur, like detention, layover, some cost involved in getting the freight unloaded or something like that. You just kissed all that goodbye because you agreed to it. You agreed to that. It's your fault. Yeah. Yeah. That's why we're having this chat tonight. Because I don't want anybody that I know, I don't want any of my friends getting screwed because of some fucking contract. And these brokers are really good at it, especially the big ones. They're really good. They're really good at tagging your ass in the contract. Now, you have the main body of the contract that typically it describes who's who, what kind of insurance you got to have, what you're expected to maintain, that kind of thing. Okay, all the legalese is in there, and then beyond that part of the contract, at the bottom of the contract, you'll see references to Addendum A, Addendum B, Addendum C. Those are add-ons to the contract. Most of the time, if you do a contract with a big shipper, all your rates are in one of the addendums. Because at the end of the year or end of 90 days, whatever the term of the contract is, if you redo your rates, you have to submit rates. You don't have to redo the contract again. You just have to redo the addendum to the contract. So you'll see that, those things in there. Your rates will be in there. Sometimes your insurance, like in government loads, an addendums, most of those addendums are pretty complicated because on certain loads, you're going to have to get a rider for your insurance because you're going to need more insurance than you currently have to move a certain freight, whatever that might be, a machine, a real high dollar load. You're going to have to secure extra insurance to do that. That'll all be listed in the addendums. So go through those things with a fine tooth comb and be aware that you have to be able to do one of two things. You have to agree to it and then hold up your end of the bargain because you signed it. Okay. You have to agree to it, or you have to mark through it, or you have to change it. Now, in some cases, you can change a contract. You can change it. You can say, yeah, I don't agree to this, but I will agree to this. And you write it in there. And sometimes a broker, sometimes a shipper will allow you to make a change. They'll negotiate with you. 9 times out of 10, if you change anything in a contract, what they're going to tell you is, well, I got to send it to legal, and that might take a week or two. Again, they're just trying to get you to sign the contract as is. If you do that and you forfeit your rights by signing that agreement, that's on you. That's on you. It'll never come back and haunt them. It'll never cost them any money because they've covered all that. Believe me, they've covered all that. It'll never cost them anything, but it will cost you. Just so you know. Now, if you do a broker carrier agreement, you'll notice that on your rate confirmation sheet, somewhere in the bottom of that rate confirmation sheet, the small print that somebody was talking about here a minute ago, okay, it'll say this agreement supersedes any prior or previous agreements made between carrier and broker. That means that all that shit you just agreed to and all that shit you just signed and the changes that you made and all that on your broker carrier contract, your agreement, now it's pretty much null and void because you just agreed to another little contract allowing them to do what they want to do again. You know what I do with those things is I'll mark through that and I'll go, I don't want you to supersede. We spent a week putting our contract together. I feel like it's a very comprehensive, document, a very good agreement that protects us both. And no, I don't want this to supersede anything. I still want us to abide by the contract. I still want us to abide by the legal agreement that we have between us. And unless they're a real asshole or unless they're trying to fuck you pretty hard, most of them will agree to that. Most of them will go along with that. Now, I don't know if you've kind of sort of figured out by now that a lot of where I'm going with this conversation is that doing a contract, protecting your business, protecting your revenue is a very, very, very important part of your day. It's a very important part of your business. And that demands that you give it a reasonable amount of time, okay, and attention. You need to do that. Don't just sign it and go, yeah, fuck it. They've been good to me. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. The law is all about language. Most of the best lawyers in the world have degrees in literature because it's all about language. It's all about how you say a thing, how you phrase a thing, what that turn of a phrase might be or might not be, and how that can be construed to mean one thing or another thing. So when you read a contract, bear that in mind. Bear in mind that the wording is what they catch you with, is what'll catch you. Okay? If you get a contract from a shipper and you've been working your ass off trying to get this shipper for a year and you really want them and you really want and you don't want to make them mad, ask yourself one question. Do you really think that if they breach that contract, if they exercise one of those clauses in that contract that you agreed to that really hurts you, okay? You really think they're still going to be your customer after that? You really think they're going to stick around? You really think they're going to hang on? If they're willing to bury your ass, do you really, really think they want you around? I mean, I don't. I don't think so. And I've said this a million times, and I don't care who hears it, and I don't care who knows it. If you haul freight for TQL, you're a fucking moron anyway. And to that one guy sitting out there going, yeah, I've been hauling in for 9 years, and they ain't never fucked me. Fuck you, Frank. Go haul for them. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you do. Okay? Me and Shaggy talked about this morning for 20 minutes about, we get on here, we try to give people advice, we try to be helpful. And I don't know how many times, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times out of 10, people look at it and go, oh, okay, that was pretty good advice. I think I'll do that. But most of the time I go, yeah, he don't know what he's talking about. Fuck him. He ain't never had to haul freight. Bitch, I've hauled more freight and forgot about hauling more freight than most of the people I know. But I read my contracts. I'm real good at it. I'm real good at that. I did contracts for the federal government for 23 years. I spent, oh God, I don't even know how many man hours writing, rewriting. And I can send you a copy of one if you want to see one. If you want to see what a government contract looks like, I'll send it to you. I always have my transportation lawyer look over the shipper contracts and make whatever modifications are needed if we are serious about doing business together. Ain't cheap to hire a lawyer, but the peace of mind is priceless. Yeah, not to mention the peace of mind is priceless, Jonathan. Also, getting paid's a pretty good thing too. We call them assholes. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And there's a bunch of them around. Bunch of them. But believe me when I tell you this contract thing, I've written, God, I don't even know how many contracts and proposals for the federal government. And those things aren't like a carrier agreement, with a customer. They're not like a broker carrier agreement. A government contract can run up to 50, 60 pages. I mean, they've got different parts and different things that you have to comply with, agree to, da 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 da. And they do expect now, on the other hand, okay, They do expect you to do a good job and do your due diligence on the contract. They do expect you to make some changes and come back to them, and they do expect to discuss, negotiate, whatever you need to do to make that contract tenable for both parties. The government does do that. Brokers won't. Fuck you if you don't haul. If you don't, my boss said if you sign that, fuck you. You can't haul for us. Oh, don't do it. Don't haul for them. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay. A customer, if a sub hero, my brothers, well, don't do it. It's not worth it. How if one of these brokers holds back, I'm gonna ask you a question and you answer me. Somebody tell me if nighttime is the right time, black smoke matters. Damn, ain't that the truth? Shit, that's the truth. If I'm one or two rockers, build trust with brokers, stay off the low boards and never look back. Truer words never spoken. That's absolutely right. Hell yes. Here's the deal. That's great advice. I couldn't give you better advice. If they're not willing to make those changes to a contract, trust me when I tell you, you don't want to do business. How long would it take you if a broker were to hold back $10,000 of your money? If they were to do that, 10,000 bucks. How much freight would you have to haul? How many loads would you have to run? How long would it take you? Week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? I don't know. I don't know your business. How long would it take you to make up that much profit and put it back in your bank account? If they offset $10,000 of your money, how long would it take you to do that? Can you do that? Can you still pay your fuel bill and your truck payment and your driver, your insurance? Can you still do that if somebody just snags 10 grand? Do you really think that your factoring company is going to stand up and fight for you? They're not. I don't care who they are. They're not going to do it because you signed the agreement. You're the one that signed the agreement. They didn't. You did. So let's just, as Barney broker bragging to me about getting $3.95 a mile, I just took his haul. Oh well, loose lips sink ships. There you go. I hope you didn't back solicit the motherfucker because you did. It might come after your ass, and then they do. Anyway, let's just, as Barney Fife, my brother Barney Fife used to say, let's nip it in the bud. Let's cut this off at the get go. Let's stop this before it becomes a problem. Okay? Read the contracts. If you have a question, if you see something on a contract that you don't understand, if you see something on a contract that just doesn't make sense to you, and let me tell you, I'm not blaming anybody or calling them stupid because people write contracts intentionally not to make some sense about certain things. That's how they trip you up. Frank, send me a link. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that. I'm not in the right thing, but hold on a minute. Copy. Hold on, Shagley. If somebody sends you a contract and you sign it, it's on you. So read it. Take your time. Do your due diligence. Hold on. There you go. Do your due diligence. Shaggy's coming to join us here in a minute. Now, he is not going to take over my show. We ain't doing that tonight. I'll own his brokerage. Good. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to act. If you ain't never haul a load for him, fuck him. Yeah, go get it. Go get it. I expect you to. I want you to. I feel that. Anyway, read the contract before you sign it. If there's something there you don't understand, if there's something in there that doesn't make sense to you, if there's something in there that just plain doesn't feel right, call me up. Call me up. I'll bet you I've seen it before. I've dealt with it before at some time or another. And if I have not, I'll get you an answer. I'll find out for you. As much as I agree with everything you're saying, the brutal reality is 98% of carriers will just sign the contract without even looking at it, especially these electronic contracts. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I covered that a while ago. I said out of 10 people, maybe 3 will actually do it. You'll get in a hurry, or you'll be, oh God, that rate's too good. I can't miss that. And you'll just sign it and send it back. You do it. People do it all the time. I know. I know. I'm there. But the reason we're having this talk is that I hope that 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it is, out of 10 will actually take my advice and spend some time and put a little bit of study and a little bit of effort into taking care of your business and reading the contracts before you sign them and making whatever necessary changes you have to make. Again, if you have a problem, or if you see something that doesn't ring the right bell, or doesn't sound right, call me up. I'll look at it. I'll be glad to look at it. I've looked at a million of them. You know, uh, if I can't get you an answer, if I can't answer your question, I'll get you an answer. I'll get you one. I'll get on the phone with somebody that knows more than I do, and there's plenty of people out there in the world that do. I'll get on the phone with somebody that knows more than I do, and we'll get you a good answer. So contracts can be your lifeblood. They can protect you. They can be a good thing. They can make sure you get paid if you handle them right. Okay. In a government contract, you'll have a section in that contract, and it's usually about that damn thick. It's called SOW, Statement of Work. And it describes in great detail, what you are expected to do if you're awarded that business. Great detail. When I get my brokerage, I'm going to have 2 contracts, one for those that don't read and one for those that do. Why? For what? What's your purpose in that? But yeah, I mean, why would you do that? What do you want? Never mind. Well, I'm not understanding why you would want to pull a wool over somebody's eyes because they don't read a contract. I don't want to do that. I try to make my contracts real simple and easy to understand, and all that. I just I've tried to be easy to do business with. I think it brings more business to your company if you make it easy to do business. If you make it fair and you do it easy, you get a good reputation. You'll be around for a while. I've been around for a long time. The purpose is to cheat those that want to be cheated. Who wants to be cheated? To see how often I have to send the second one. No wool, straightforward, easy to read. You got more time on your hands than I do. I don't have time to play that game. I send the contract, sign it, send it back. It's a done deal. There's certain things on my contract that if you mark through them, I'm not going to do business with you. And that's okay. That's okay. We can, very confused guy is in the house. Let's bring him in. I can't hear you. Are you talking yet? Oh, okay. Very confused guy. First of all, you need to understand we can only see your nasal hairs and eyeballs. That's all we can see. Is
that better?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Okay, good.
That's better. So, what are you confused about?
Nothing contracts, man, because you have to read them.
Yeah, you got to read them. You got to spend a few minutes and pay attention to them.
Yeah, it's always those one paragraphs I forget to read about, like the one that says you can haul this high dollar load, but you can't get paid until my customer pays me, and then you can start your 30-day billing after that. And no matter what factoring company you use or whatever you think, you can't do nothing, sue me or nothing because you signed this agreement. It's one paragraph that big.
Yeah, well, that's on the terms and agreement of the contract. If they put in there that they pay in 30 days, and that 30 days starts on receipt of the proof of delivery, shit, it might take you a week and a half, 2 weeks to get the POD to them. If you've got a driver out there on the road, and they're running around, and they don't get that POD back to you so that you can send it to them that day, good luck. And I don't know about some offices. See, in my office, and I guess everybody's different. Everybody's different. But in my office, we bill every day. Every day. 5 days a week, we bill. We do our billing. A lot of offices, I know, a lot of companies, they will wait. Shram Logistics, if the shipper doesn't pay us, we don't have to pay you. Yeah. Who's going to do that? Anyway, in our office, I know a lot of offices that bill like once a week. They're like, oh, yeah, we send out all our bills on Thursday. We don't do that. We bill every day. Every day. I got a little girl sitting right there, and whatever comes in, she bills it that day. It's a keystroke for her. It takes her like 2 minutes to do it. So
Why? Does that control your days to pay or control your aging and get the bills going with the customers or what?
partly, but also it just it's just our SOP. It's just how we operate. We bill every day. A lot of days, I'll beat down the doors to get a POD as soon as the load is delivered. Yeah, a lot of days. There's days we'll have 40, 45 invoices in there. I mean, you know. So yeah, it's just easier for us to go ahead and do it instead of waiting until Friday. And then Friday you got, 386 or 422 invoices to file. Friday rolls around, you're already done. So, on these contracts, read, define, print. Send it to me or send it to Shaggy. Send it to Shaggy. One of us, let us look at it.
Have you seen my grammar when I type and stuff like that? You might want to send it to Frank.
We're not asking you to write.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Just read it. Just
Oh,
read it.
yeah.
See if you see any weird stuff on there.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Because
And if you do it on a regular basis, it's really crazy because you start reading it, and a lot of people will use everybody else's shit. So a lot of the paragraphs are the same in a lot of contracts and different things.
yeah,
It's the one you're really reading for the ones you've never seen before. That's the trick, right?
a lot of these new guys, smaller brokers, new guys, they'll just get a contract from somebody else and just copy it and put their name on it. So that becomes
Oh,
their contract. Most of them do that. The little small guys do that. But don't play that game. Don't do it. Just say, hey, look, I'm not going to sign this, and I'm not going to sign
so
your
I got
offset.
a question.
Most are
How
TIA
are,
place.
oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
how are you going to get people to read contracts though when they don't even read the back page or the second half of the rate con? They always look when does it pick up, when it
That's
delivers,
why
when it.
we're having this Frank talk and Shaggy talk tonight on Tuesday night and I told them we talked about this morning when we went live, that maybe 3 or 4 out of 10 people will actually think, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. I should probably do that. And the rest of them will go, yeah, that's bullshit. I ain't never done that. And they be,
Those guys are dumb.
my money.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
fucking idiots.
I ain't got time for that shit.
Oh no, yeah.
I
Why would
gotta
I want to
do
do that?
business. I gotta do business. Okay,
Nah,
well,
it's too busy, man. How do you get ahead to do that? Just call C.H. Robinson Coyote. They'll just do it for you. Why the hell?
they'll do it for you. Fuck them. They love you. 3 out of 4 out of 100. I don't know. What happened? He left. The confused guy left. Holy smokes. I don't think he's got a signal. Oh. I don't know what happened. It does that shit. He comes on here on Tuesday night. He'll be right in the middle of a sentence. Blink, and it'll go away. Anywho, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight was contracts, agreements with people. Be careful also, okay? Be careful also about things you say. I know. You always want to get stuff in writing if you can. Okay? And I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. You need to know this. This is important stuff tonight. This will save you a lot of money. If you can get somebody to text you something or email you something, it's a lot better than just them telling you over the phone, because then you have a permanent record of what was said. So when it comes up later and you go, hey, wait a minute. I called you and told you that I had to wait 9 hours, and you said you'd pay me $300. And I just got my check from you, and there's no 300 on. I don't remember saying that. We never do that. If you've got an email or a text, you have proof. That's the end of the conversation. Make sure you get it. And you've heard this since you were a little bitty kid, okay? I'm just going to say it one more time. You make sure, I think he's back. Make sure you get everything in writing. Everything. Everything. I don't care if it's a text. I don't care if it's an email. I don't care what.
Can you hear me?
If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. Yeah, I can hear you. I can see the very top of your head. That's terrible. The glare coming off that head is killing me. Anyway, get it in writing. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. If you don't have a picture, it ain't there. It ain't real. Get everything you do in writing so that you have a record of it and keep it. Keep it. I got emails that are 10 years old. I swear I do. And I mean, I'm a stickler about that. What in the world? What's all that? He's gone again. I don't know what he's doing. We're not going to be here that much longer. Anyway, get it in writing, read the contract. If you are curious, if something doesn't look right, sound right, feel right, any of that, call me up. Call me up or send me, shoot me a copy. If I'm here, if I'm not at the shop or whatever, I'll be glad to look it over for you. Yeah, I'll be glad to take a look at it. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, I'm going to sit here all day long and approve everybody's contracts for everybody. I don't want to do that. I want you to do that. Okay. But these things that we've talked about, offsetting, holding back your money, hold back, charge backs, language like that,
Aging.
it's creating signal interference. Anytime there's additional money, I always get an adjusted rate con to reflect it. Perfect. And
Actually, don't.
you deal with one person. And I'm going to get you on here next week, and we're going to talk about how you work, if you don't mind, because everybody wants to know what you're doing, and because what you're doing is fucking smart. Anyway, if you can get a new rate con, you've got it in writing. That's all you need.
That's that old saying. That's that old saying. When problems occur, you no longer talk on the phone.
Yeah. If somebody, damn dude, I'm coming in from lunch right now, and I'm in the car. Just go ahead and do it. I'll give you an extra $300. Whatever. Get a text, get an email, or like Jess said, perfect case. Get a brand new rate com with it on there. Then you got everything you need to get paid. Cover your ass with this legal shit. I know it's a pain in the ass. I mean, nobody hates it worse than I do. But
they won't give it to you anyway. So why do we do it? I mean, holy cow, it's only a few bucks.
They'll give it to you. I sat in a hotel in Garden City, Kansas for 3 days because I got an offer on a government contract. This is several years ago. But I had to have that contract written, completed, and back to them. And they gave me 3 days to turn it around. And I was sitting out there on a customer visit. I just had to get in the room and sit down. And I ordered my meals in. And I sat there for 3 days and typed up that agreement and back and forth. And I got it done. So I've done some contract. I've considered starting a contract editing service where my team reads and edits contract. And for a fee, we'll provide other carriers with our edits. Are you an attorney? Who is that? Who said that? I want to know who that is. Let me see here. Shane Ferris. Shane, are you a lawyer? Are you an attorney? Because if you're not, good luck. A contract editing service. I mean, you're probably as qualified as most people. But here's the thing. Shaggy and I had gotten a fight about this. I have one. Okay, good, because you need one. Shaggy and I got in a big fight about this because he was going to rewrite contracts. I said, you don't want to do that. You need a lawyer to. Shaggy said, no, I've been in this business 30 years. I know what I'm doing. Of course you have. And of course you do.
It's no different than Shane.
Yeah. Trucking. But here's a news flash for you. That lawyer, he knows law.
Yeah, I don't know laws.
He knows the law in your state. What applies, what doesn't apply, what's good, what's not good. And believe me, all the laws change from state to state to state, no matter what. These laws I'm telling you about now, offsetting, not paying their bills,
Workman's comp.
That's everywhere. That's it.
Yeah.
Non-solicitation, that's everywhere. There's no state that'll favor you or not favor you on that any more one than the other. So, Shane, how you like my hat? You didn't even mention my fucking hat.
Yeah, I've been sending Shane drivers because I got so many of them coming and he's putting them on.
Good. Shit's busting loose, guys. We're going to talk about that next week. Shaggy and I are going to start talking about that. Shit's starting to bust loose a little bit. Shit's starting to bust loose.
Unless it's a lie and it's just the first, it's just that third week after inventory, and this is teasing us a little bit. But that would happen the third week of July. This is August.
It's the best hat I have. It's things are starting to loosen up a little bit. Not everywhere. Not everywhere. Not everywhere. That doesn't mean go ahead and take that load to Miami and think you're going to get $3 coming out, because you ain't.
Never.
That's not what it means, ever. But things are starting to loosen up a little bit. And we need to talk about that. So you need to, now that things are happening, moving around a little bit, you need to pay attention to shit like your contracts. You need to pay attention to your contracts.
I was thinking about, I just watched Shane, man. When I shut down my trucking company, I was where Shane is now. And now he's the one with the shop and getting ready to send it to the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. But
17 at 25. Owner operators doing the same thing he was doing. Yep.
Yeah. But Shane's been sitting there plugging away. And he's been doing things right. And he's been making good decisions for a real long time.
I've been watching him since the Prime thing all the way to that other company and the trucks, and he shifted and changed. You know what I mean? I remember him from day one.
He's doing some stuff very, very right. And I am proud of it. I am.
The shop thing's the coolest shit.
Oh, yeah. I know. I got one. Shops are fun. Fun as shit. Anyway, do your contracts. If you have any trouble, send them to me or call me up and ask me a question, or send me, shoot me a thing in Messenger or something like that, and, ask me about it. And
you want me to put your phone number out there?
No. I'm not putting my phone number. No. But you can get in touch with me through Messenger or on my page. Easy. I respond to everything on there all the time. But do that and we'll help you. I just got my drawings out of the shop today. Drawings? God damn it, I hate this thing. I'm going to get a new service.
Too much.
Oh, that's Shane talk. Are you mean for the shop? You're talking about your plans, your architectural rendering. Structural seal starts going up Thursday. Better get something in. Anyway, contracts, read them. Pay attention. I want to call you up at 2:30 a.m., Frank. Give us your number. See, here's the thing, Jonathan. You could call me at 2:30 and I wouldn't mind at all. It wouldn't bother me at all. You know why? Because my phone has this OFF position. When I go to bed, knock it right out. You can call away.
Does that thing work when you do that? I never had figured that out. Off?
Yeah.
Wow, that works. I didn't know that button worked.
Doesn't make a sound. I do that because Shaggy calls me about 5:30 a lot of mornings. He'll get up and go, "Hey, brother, what you doing? Fuck, what do you think I'm doing?" Anyway.
It's 6:30? Oh, it's Central Time.
That's all I want to keep you. Shaggy and I. Shaggy's got this thing coming up. Shaggy, talk about your thing. Then we got to get out.
My webinar? Oh, yeah. The webinar I picked. It's going to be this Sunday, and it's going to be really crazy. We just did that blueprint of it. I posted it in the group. I made a workbook for it, and it's going to be 6 hours long, 6 topics, and our 6 subjects with 4 topics to each subject. And you're going to tell me what you're going to do to fix your trucking company or start your trucking company. We're going to talk about structure and cost operations, understanding the cost, so you stop worrying about what other people are making and what you're making, and actually know how to run freight. And we're going to talk about where to post with direction search and looking for volume and these things that are happening right now that everybody's talking about, because the volume is coming up and things are happening. Are you going to be a guy that's on top of it, or are you going to be the one that keeps finding it after it's already started? And then we're going to talk about why a brokerage is important to a carrier like Shane Barris, or a guy with 3 trucks that's become an investor, and what leverage it gives, and the 4 things that I've learned that are going to cause you a hell of a problem that you don't even know about. Then we're going to talk about 3 ways to get customers and what to do with them.
So how do these people sitting here listening, how do they find out how to sign up for this thing? They go to your
website, shaggyconsulting.com.
Okay. shaggyconsulting.com.
Yep. Yep, and I shared you. This should be popping out here because I shared it like 30 times
Okay.
right before I came on.
All right, guys. Hey, it's been an
Mike.
hour. I love you. I mean it. Take care of each other. Look out for each other. We are all we got. There ain't nobody else looking out for us. Nobody. Look out for each other. Take good care of each other. Just take a minute out of your day, and look out for somebody. Just give them a minute of your time. Because I promise you, it'll come back if you do. It'll come back. Have a great night. Have a great week. Tuesday night. Holler if you need us. We're here all the time. And hey, above all else,